this world, there is a world, there is a world I want. Beyond this world, there is a world, there is a world I want. I choose to see that world instead of this. For here is nothing that I really want. The world I see holds nothing that I want. Beyond this world, there is a world, there is a world I want. Beyond this world, there is a world, there is a world I want. Well, thank you all so much for joining me today and studying A Course in Miracles. We're ready for Lesson 129 from the Foundation for Inner Peace publication this year we're reading from. Lesson 129 is for Friday, May the 9th of 2025, and I'm the Tuesday preceding that day that I'm making this recording. Beyond this world, there is a world I want. This is the thought that follows from the one you practiced yesterday. And for anybody that might not know, I'm Forgiveness Willie, teaching forgiveness from the Ozarks. Looks like my turkeys followed me out here, sitting in front of my multiflora rose, which they just smell so wonderful, and they look beautiful. But be aware, a lot of people consider them to be invasives. But they do good erosion control, and I intend on using them for that very purpose. And they're good pollinators. The bees really make the honey from them. Beyond this world, there is a world I want. This is the thought that follows from the one we practiced yesterday. The world I see holds nothing that I want. You cannot stop with the idea the world is worthless, for unless you see that there is something else to hope for, you will only be depressed. Hope you didn't get depressed too much yesterday. I tried to remind you that it's the unseen world that's where our hope is. I should have emphasized it a little greater. Our emphasis is not on giving up the world, but on exchanging it for what is far more satisfying, filled with joy, and capable of offering you peace. Think you this world can offer that to you? It might be worth a little time to think once more about the value of this world. Perhaps you will concede there is no loss in letting go all thought of value here. The world you see is merciless indeed, unstable, cruel, unconcerned with you, quick to avenge, and pitiless with hate. It gives but to rescind, and takes away all things that you have cherished for a while. No lasting love is found, for none is here. This is the world of time where all things end. Is it a loss to find a world instead where losing is impossible? Where love endures forever, hate cannot exist, and vengeance has no meaning? Is it lost to find all things you really want and know they have no ending, and they will remain exactly as you want them throughout time? Yet even they will be exchanged at last for what we cannot speak of. For you go from there to where words fail entirely, into a silence where the language is spoken, the language is unspoken, and yet surely understood. Communication, unambiguous and plain as day, remain unlimited for all eternity. And God himself speaks to his Son as his Son speaks to him. Their language has no words, for what they say cannot be symbolized. Their knowledge is direct and wholly shared and wholly one. How far away from this are you who stay bound to this world? And yet how near are you when you exchange it for the world you want? So that, many of our brothers and sisters that have crossed over and come back, near-death experience folks, talk about that, how they didn't have to say anything and things just appeared. They didn't have to communicate verbally. They were understood. They couldn't really tell how. They just knew. There was no sense of guilt. They felt so not judged and so loved, so at home, so at peace, so filled with joy. That out of the body, that eternal state. Well, that's what he's referring to. We want to reach that. Even in this world, we can reach that. And that's what we want to do. And we bring our guiltlessness into that perception, and we're well on our way. Raymond Moody, a favorite teacher of mine, he's written about 60 books, and one of his books is Life After Life. Anyway, there was a deal put online called, it's put out by Secrets of the Beyond, and it's titled on YouTube, What Really Happens to Your Soul After Death? Dr. Raymond Moody's Research. It's 20 minutes and 52 seconds, and I'll put a link in the description below. But you know what? Raymond Moody said that we want to go through that forgetful place so that the soul can learn, and that it would actually be, he thought it'd be pretty difficult to live this life if you really knew for sure. So it's a little hard to understand from his perspective. But I'm going to suggest that as we learn to practice guiltlessness, we're going to be able to enter into that world and know it and be totally happy bringing heaven to earth, where there's no guilt on earth either. But we've got to be the examples of that so that we can bring it on. Anyway, I just want to make sure, I'd love for you to listen to that. I think it'd be real helpful to those that are learning from this, from what I'm trying to share. And I would encourage you to listen to it. Anyway, let's go on. Paragraph 5 in our reading today. Now is the last step certain. Now you stand an instant space away from timelessness. Here can you but look forward, never back, to see again the world you do not want. Here is the world that comes to take its place. As you unbind your mind from little things the world sets forth to keep you prisoner, value them not, and they will disappear. Esteem them, and they will seem real to you. So, are you going to value the world that your physical eyes can see, or are you going to value the world that your single eye can see? Well, let's hope that it's the latter. Because the more you value the world of where complete communication and complete love and complete joy and no judgment and no guilt ever enters, and that joy is eternal, then you'll begin to bring that into focus. Because remember, we're working with our value system. And if you're not sure that you're happy, well, you're just valuing the wrong thing. Learn to value what is eternal, and your happiness will come to you. And use forgiveness. It's the key that opens up the door to this happiness. Forgiveness is the key to happiness. Remember our lesson? Okay, paragraph 6. Such is the choice. You get whichever one you esteem. Such is the choice. What loss can be for you in choosing not to value nothingness? This world holds nothing that you really want, but what you choose instead you want indeed. Let it be given you today. It waits but for your choosing it, to take the place of all the things you seek but do not want. Practice your willingness to make this change 10 minutes in the morning and at night, and once more in between. Begin with this. So your 3 10-minute practice periods that you'll do today, say just to start it, beyond this world there is a world I want. I choose to see that world instead of this, for here is nothing I really want. Then close your eyes upon the world you see, and in the silence, and in the silent darkness, watch the lights that are not of this world light one by one, until where one begins, another ends, loses all meaning, and they blend as one. So now basically your inner vision's going to open up. You're going to begin to see the real world, the vision of Christ. The world you see when you enter into light, when you enter into the kingdom of heaven, when you enter into the vision of Christ, the forgiven world, the world of guiltlessness. And the last paragraph for today in the workbook reading. Today the lights of heaven bend to you, to shine upon your eyelids as you rest beyond the world of darkness. Here is light your eyes cannot behold, and yet your mind can see it plainly and can understand. A day of grace is given you today, and we give thanks. This day we realize that what you feared to lose was only loss. And now the last paragraph, I thought that was the last, 9. Now do we understand there is no loss. We're invulnerable. Rest in that, your oneness with God. For we have seen its opposite at last, and we are grateful that the choice is made. Remember your decision hourly, and take a moment to confirm your choice by laying by whatever thoughts you have and dwelling briefly upon this. The world I see holds nothing that I want. Beyond this world, there is a world I want. So reaffirm your decision every hour today by saying, the world I see holds nothing that I want. Beyond this world, there is a world I want. Okay, each time you do that, you'll be getting a little closer to awakening, for all the lights to come on and to be able to see with your inner vision. You'll be a seer then. Okay, let's see. What are we ready for today? The reflection of holiness in chapter 14, Teaching for Truth, Roman numeral 9. The atonement does not make holy. You were created holy. It merely brings unholiness to holiness, or what you made to what you are. What you made to what you are. What we made is not really fit for the Son of God. But what you are can never be taken from you and is eternal, changeless. Changeless joy, changeless love. Bringing illusions to truth, or the ego to God, is the Holy Spirit's only function. Keep not your making from your Father, for hiding it has cost you knowledge of Him and of yourself. The knowledge is safe, but where is your safety apart from it? The making of time to take the place of timelessness lay in the decision to be not as you are. The truth was made past, and the present was dedicated to illusion. And the past too was changed and interposed between what always was and now. The past that you remember never was, and represents only the denial of what always was. Paragraph 2. Bringing the ego to God is but to bring error to truth, where it stands corrected because it is the opposite of what it meets. It is undone because the contradiction can no longer stand. How long can contradiction stand when its impossible nature is clearly revealed? What disappears in light is not attacked. It merely vanishes because it is not true. Different realities are meaningless, for reality must be one. It cannot change with time or mood or chance. Its changelessness is what makes it real. This cannot be undone. Undoing is for unreality. And this reality will do for you. It'll undo unreality. Reality will. This will be done. This reality will do for you. Paragraph 3. Merely by being what it is, does truth release you from everything that it is not. The atonement is so gentle you need but whisper to it, and all its power will rush to your assistance and support. You are not frail with God beside you, yet without Him you are nothing. The atonement offers you God. The gift that you refused is held by Him in you. The Holy Spirit holds it there for you. God has not left His altar, though His worshippers placed other gods upon it. The temple still is holy, for the presence that dwells within it is holiness. Paragraph 4. In the temple, holiness waits quietly for the return of them that love it. In the temple, holiness waits quietly for the return of them that love it. The presence knows they will return to purity and to grace. The graciousness of God will take them gently in and cover all their sense of pain and loss with the immortal assurance of their Father's love. Their fear of death will be replaced with joy of life. Wow, catch that. That's why I want you to watch that near-death topic video, because as we get more and more willing to let go of the world around us and see the real world, we'll be able to say this, that our fear of death will be replaced with joy of life. For God is life, and they abide in life. Life is as holy as the holiness by which it was created. The presence of holiness lives in everything that lives. For holiness created life, and leaves not what it created holy as itself. Paragraph 5. In this world, you can become a spotless mirror. Okay, now that should give you an encouragement, that in this world, you can become a spotless mirror in which the holiness of your Creator shines forth from you to all around you. You can reflect heaven here, and yet no reflections of the image of other gods must dim the mirror that would hold God's reflection in it. Earth can reflect heaven or hell, God or the ego. So when you're here on the earth and you're looking at God, you can be a perfect reflection if your devotion is just to God. But if you're also worshiping through the ego, things of this world, the treasures, the fleeting treasures of this world, then you'll be a dirty, and you won't be a spotless mirror. You'll have spots in it. And you might get some truth out, but not all the truth you were intended to reflect. And so we want to become more and more focused on reality, the inner vision, the seeing of Christ, seeing of God, the seeing of reality. Beyond this world, there is a world I want. We want to be focused on that world, the kingdom of heaven, so that we can really give a lot of grace to our brothers and sisters. Earth can reflect heaven or hell, God or the ego. You need but leave the mirror clean and clear of all the images of hidden darkness you have drawn upon it. God will shine upon it of Himself. Only the clear reflection of Him can be perceived upon it. 6. Reflections are seen in light. In darkness they are obscure, and their meaning seems to lie only in shifting interpretations rather than in themselves. The reflection of God needs no interpretation. It is clear, clean but the mirror, and the message that shines forth from what the mirror holds out for everyone to see, no one can fail to understand. It is the message that the Holy Spirit is holding to the mirror that is in him. He recognizes it because he has been taught his need for it, but knows not where to look to find it. Let him then see it in you. and share it with you. So he'll see it in you as your visions on the eternal, and you'll recognize that guilt has no place in your life, and that innocent perception is what you're going to see. And as a result, people will begin to see that, wow, you live in a way that you recognize that you're invulnerable. That will be your reflection of what you're seeing, is your invulnerable nature. You might get killed. You might even get hurt in this world. But is that really hurt? And is that really death? We're wanting to see that our life is a continuum, and that this is not our true, body's not our true identity. It's a tool we're using. That's how I like to think of it. It's the tool for our soul to grow. You'll learn a little bit about that when you listen to this podcast that I'm talking about Raymond Moody. Paragraph 7, could you but realize for a single instant the power of healing that the reflection of God shining in you can bring to all the world, you could not wait to make the mirror of your mind clean to receive the image of the holiness that heals the world. The image of holiness that shines in your mind is not obscure and will not change. Its meaning to those who look upon it is not obscure, for everyone perceives it as the same. All bring their different problems to its healing light, and all their problems find but healing there. All our problems can find healing. And the last paragraph, 8. The response of holiness to any form of error is always the same. There is no contradiction in what holiness calls forth. Its one response is healing. Without regard for what is brought to it, those who have learned to offer only healing because of the reflection of holiness in them are ready at last for heaven. Catch that? Those who have learned to offer only healing because of the reflection of holiness in them are ready at last for heaven. So that's what we want to do. There's our work, to be seeing holiness so much, the complete unity of God's goodness inside, that we see it so well that the only thing we want to offer anyone is the guiltless world a healing. And then we'll be at last ready for heaven ourselves. Not that you have to die to experience heaven. Keep that in mind. You can have heaven here and now. You've just got to be able to see beauty. The beauty of love in every person, place, thing, and situation. Leave your guilts behind. Have a completely open mind and let God take you there. Their holiness is not a reflection, but rather the actual condition of what was but reflected to them here. God is no image, and His creations, as part of Him, hold Him in them in truth. They do not merely reflect the truth, for they are truth. So that's our reality. In the beginning, it looks like you're reflecting it. But in this world, maybe we'll be reflecting it. But in reality, we'll just be letting the Spirit of God flow through us completely, unencumbered, unhindered by guilt. Okay, let's see. There's not a lot going on around the world today from a religious standpoint. Child Care Providers Day I found on holidays and observances, and there's quite a few more that I'm not going to mention, that I did put them in the description below, thanks to holidays and observances. It's also Fantastic Day, the day for giving sharks a voice. Studies from Sharks Day. And I should have told you some of the genus of sharks, which I forgot to look it up. You'll have to do that yourself. And there's quite a number of species. And Sleepover Day, for you guys that like to do sleepovers. This be your day. It's Friday night. Okay, let's see. And then out of edible landscaping, we've got the Sugargate black muscadine grape. Fruit very large, skin dark, flavor excellent, sugar in individual berries up to 21% sugar. Wow, that's really sweet. That's a lot of sugar. 21%. Fruit ripens earliest of our muscadines. Vigorous, productive, with large clusters. Recommended by Professor John Clark of the University of Arkansas Grape Breeding Program as an excellent grape for the homeowner. There you go. This is the muscadine you would want here in the Ozarks and other places around the world. And it's good in zone 6 through 9. Quite a hit at the Fall Fruit Day That's something they have there at their nursery. Sugargate is as bud hardy as Mars seedless grape. Bud hardy as Mars seedless. And if you're bud hardy, that means that bud isn't hurt by late frosts. Native space 4 to 8 foot on trellis, about 6 foot tall. So I think you'd space them 4 to 8 foot apart on a trellis that's 6 foot tall. And because Sugargate needs a mate, plant it with another flowering muscadine like Carlos, Isons, or Delicious. Zone 6 through 9. And we've talked about Carlos and Isons. We'll talk about Delicious tomorrow. Okay, of course, if you're in zone 6 like I am, you'll want to find the most hardy muscadine so that to be its mate. Okay, well, let's close with our song. Be sure to do your 2 10-minute practice periods today where you tell yourself, beyond this world, there is a world I want. I choose to see that world instead of this, for here is nothing that I really want. And then take your 10 minutes 3 times after you've said that. And then throughout the day, every hour, tell yourself, the world I see holds nothing that I want. Beyond this world, there is a world I want. And of course, if you get tempted to think that this world has something to hold against you, be sure to say it then too. Beyond this world, there is a world I want. Beyond this world, there is a world I want. I choose to see that world instead of this. For here is nothing that I really want. Beyond this world, there is a world I want. The world I see holds nothing that I want. Beyond this world, there is a world I want. Beyond this world, there is a world I want. Beyond this world, there is a world I want. Beyond this world, there is a world I want. Beyond this world, there is a world I want. And we'll bring it into focus as we learn to see the innocence in everyone and in ourselves. So let's do just that. Use forgiveness as your helper on this path. Of course, ask the Holy Spirit how to see things. Use your inner vision of the real world. Beyond this world, there is a world I want. Our word from peace is from the Hebrew, which is west of the Jordan River is where they're at, and the word for peace is Shalom. Beyond this world, there is a world I want. Shalom.